Hello and welcome to RacinGameShow. My name is Wojtek and this is a review of DTM Experience 2014 by Sector3 Studios. Sector3 Studios, formerly known as Symbian, is a Swedish game developer and publisher. The company was formed in 2003 by a group of modders that quickly grew and established itself as a commercial producer for Windows PC. Games like GTR, GTR2, GT Legends or Race Series, including WTCC game, were well acclaimed by sim races around the world and are still used as a platform for league racing. However, between years 2007 and 2011, Symbian failed to deliver new quality. They were mostly releasing countless expansions for Race Series. However, year 2012 finally revealed new project based on new technology. Race Room Racing Experience platform was introduced. It was still in its infancy back then, and it caused mixed reactions in community as many gamers expected to finally see GTR 3. But it wasn't exactly that. R3E is a free-to-race platform that gives players access to basic content free of charge, with option to expand their racing experience with paid additional content. Players can purchase as little as single car or track, predefined packs, or whole additional experiences, like DTM Experience 2014 we are reviewing here. It is PC only and is available on Steam platform. Latest addition to R3 recreates 2014 season of German Touring Car Masters, mainly known as DTM. It featured all 23 cars and drivers, and all 9 tracks that was used in real-life series. We can choose between one of 3 German manufacturers like Audi, BMW and Mercedes, and bring them around some well-known venues like Nürburgring, Hockenheimring or Hungaroring. So let's start with the presentation. To start the game, we have to log in through Race Room Racing Experience, and after choosing DTM 2014, we are taken straight into the main menu. It's a shame that there's no intro, because some clips promoting the game are very nice and would be perfect to see them here. Unfortunately, there's also no music present in the menu, but videos in the background are climatic and help to introduce players into DTM world. Menu suffers from kind of dual design split that is left over from old R3 menus. Not a big issue, but it's kind of tacky. Despite R3's graphic engine doesn't take advantage of latest DirectX 11 or 12 technologies, it presents itself really nice. Latest improvements to shaders and lighting really elevates this game to high level in terms of looks, and it's definitely one of the best looking racing games today. It does not feature dynamic lighting, but players can choose one of the predefined moods of the track that changes time of the day. Special effects like particles, bloom, or motion blurs adds a lot, and especially motion blur creates effect of speed that is so desired by many gamers. Car models are good quality and both external and cockpit view are really pleasant to our eyes. All details in dashboard are functional, however driver's arms animation is limited to 90 degrees of rotation and might have negative effect on immersion. All tracks present themselves really good. They really seem to be more alive than in some other games. Animated spectators or flags can really improve perception and overall atmosphere. Texture work is of top quality and add to general authenticity of racetrack. Details like tire marks, dirt patches on grass ensure that the environment doesn't look sterile. However, grass itself could look a little bit better. But yeah, you have to eventually hit the graphics engine limit somewhere, and especially if you want to get some kind of satisfactory performance. And performance-wise, it is good. The game will run on a wide range of computers and it scales down nicely. When it comes to circuit accuracy, They are mostly recreated using CAD or GPS data that ensures high level of precision. However, they are not inch perfect. I can spot some minor differences while comparing Zandvoort with laser scanned iRacing versions, but they are really minor and do not take away from experience in any way. And it was really hard for me to find any flaws in any other tracks. The in-game HUD is neat, fully customizable and provides all vital information during the race. Pop-up windows are DTM stylized and add to the general experience. There are a few driving cameras available that should accommodate majority of gamers. HUD, bumper, behind the car, and cockpit cams are available. Adjustability of field of view is present, but somewhat unclear and limited. Sector 3 introduced their own unit, and it cannot be changed on the fly. You have to come back to the main menu every time you want to adjust it. Also, lack of proper triple screen support might be disappointing for more hardcore sim racers. And there's no support for Oculus Rift either. Replay view is very well done. It features nice mix of dynamic shots and realistic angles that randomly alternate throughout the race length. They really make you want to sit and watch all the replays that are stored in Media Hub. But it's not only the looks that cause it. It is the sound, and I mean the sound. Audio effects in this game are the industry benchmark. Engine noise, transmission whine, backfires, suspension, tire scrubbing and locking sounds, brake squeal. It all brings immersion to the next level. Just listen to that. It doesn't sound realistic, it sounds real. It's also worth to mention that you can adjust sound level of each component independently to give you better control. Now it's time for the most important part of this review. We'll talk about the physics and force feedback. DTM Experience physics are based on ISI Motor 2 engine that debuted in 2005. I imagine had some updates improvements in the meantime, but still one could say it is dated, and especially when you compare it to some modern sim racing titles. However, it is still used by developers till now with very good results, and it's definitely a good choice for a game like DTM Experience. And I'm going to ask the question that has to be answered when it comes to assessing driving game. Is it a sim or is it arcade? And the answer would be simple. It is definitely on a sim side with a good driving model. It is realistic, but at the same time I got a feeling that Sector 3 didn't squeeze ISI Motor 2 engine to its full potential. It's almost there with the best, just not quite. And the main difference is felt in force feedback. While recent upgrades to R3 platform are beneficial to DTM 2014 as well, with extra feel over the bumps on track surface, that gives really especially nice effect in some braking zones. I really couldn't connect 100% to the car during cornering. While feel of mid-corner oversteer is good and is delivered without delays, feel of understeer seems to be, well, non-existent, maybe not non-existent, but kind of bland and unclear. Also, slow corners entry is a tricky part that requires some tiptoeing due to loss of any forces, and gives that unpleasant floaty effect. And part of my issues might be due to DTM cars' characteristics, because huge amount of downforce these cars generate at high speed can possibly mask the effects transferred from the tires, and at the same time significantly reduce this effect in slow corners when downforce effect is minimal and the tires are unloaded. There are a few sliders available to fine-tune force feedback effects, but Sector 3 could do a better job explaining what they really do. Regardless, general feel is good and that's not discouraged from coming back for more. It is even possible to catch that just one more lap back, and trying to push your own limits can be very rewarding experience indeed. And quickly coming back to car physics itself, despite GT style looks of DTM vehicles, they are actually closer to prototype or single seaters when it comes to handling, and it is indeed very well recreated here. Available setup settings do make authentic changes to feel and behavior of cars. Difference between prime and option tires are also recreated and easily noticeable. The only question mark is lack of tire pressures and fuel level adjustments that normally plays important part in setting up the cars. Game also fully supports standard gamepads. I tested with Xbox 360 controller and game automatically recognized it and I had full controls of all the menus. It's customizable when it comes to sensitivity. After some tweaking in the settings, I could get good control of the car and be somewhat competitive even with the AI at 100% difficulty, but still found the steering too sensitive at lower speeds. Rumble support was limited to curbs and didn't provide any road or tires feedback. Damage model is very simplified and way too forgiving. Even on Get Real mode, with physical damage enabled, it's really hard to damage suspension or steering. Engine and gearbox can also take some beating before showing any sign of reduced efficiency. There's nothing exciting about visual damage either, it's very basic and far from realistic. The body is supposed to fall apart into small carbon pieces rather than just bent, and to take off the panel I really had to try hard. Let's get through some game modes and options. There are standard modes available like practice, single race, multiplayer, competitions and championship. Multiplayer is marked as being in alpha stage, so it is limited in regards of own server room creation, but there's more than enough dedicated servers hosted 24/7 by Sector3 that allows to race with any track, difficulty, settings, level combination imaginable. Multiple server farms are scattered around different continents, so you can enjoy minimal delays whenever you race from. Majority of servers alternate with 10 minutes practice, 10 minutes qualify, and 15 minutes race sessions. Apart from those limitations, there's no issues with racing online, and netcode works top notch. It is up there with the best in the market and close racing is by all means possible. Cars with high poor pings usually blink, disappear from the track rather than fly around collecting other drivers. Also, spinning or driving the wrong way vehicles are made transparent, or you could say ghosted, to limit the frustration of dealing with bad drivers. Track cutting penalty system works well, with instant power cutoff slowdown, which length is dynamically calculated to diminish any advantage gained. To sum up, online races does not have alpha feel whatsoever, so go out there and enjoy yourself. If online racing is not your thing, or there's no one to find around to race with, single player championship mode is there to entertain. With fully implemented whole season, its rules and regulations like multi-session qualifying, mandatory pit stops, with different tire compounds and weight penalties, players can really immerse into the experience. Difficulty settings can be adjusted to players' desire. There are 3 physics settings where you can choose between amateur, novice or get real that allows to accommodate gamers of all skill levels in regards to car control. AI driver's speed can also be adjusted to meet players' needs. Adaptive AI is also available and has ability to adapt to players' skill over time. Personally, had mixed results with it as adapted AI is always one step behind, as it adjusts itself in between sessions. So if you tend to improve every time you come back on particular circuits, they might not be up to speed. On the other hand, they could adapt themselves to lap times set during race, where faster option tires can be used, and when you come back next time, they seem to be too fast. So it is an interesting option, but it didn't really work for me here. Programming lifelike AI proves to be one of the biggest challenges when producing racing games, and there are some issues when it comes to their behavior in DTM Experience. My main concern is that they seem to use different set of physics than players, and I understand they had to be simplified in some way, but it just sometimes doesn't work. It's mostly visible and often painful during the first few corners of the race, where brakes and tires are not up to temperature. While players' braking distance is greatly extended, AI's ability to slow down seems to be at 100%. It really creates issues in the first corner and often causes big crashes that are not the player's fault. Occasionally they seem to not use a lot of curbs. Minor inconsistency is also noticeable. They seem to be too fast in some sections, or too slow in the other, but it doesn't really affect the quality of racing. And when it comes to quality, it is high actually. Amount of well-executed maneuvers performed by AI is impressive. They can hold their own line when going too wide and bring in the battle to the player, and would not be shy to complete an overtake. They also race against each other in believable manner, don't follow one line and seem to spread around the track in a more organic way than in some other games. At the same time, they show signs of awareness of other cars around them. They make good attempts to avoid wrecks and go around slower cars. To summarize, overall experience from racing in single player is of the top quality. It can really provide excellent challenge and keep players on its toes and be fun at the same time. And I have to admit that DTM Experience 2014 gave me the most excitement in single player racing this year. There's also good support for hot lappers. Leaderboard challenge allows to compete against other drivers around any track, with full support for downloading of Rival Ghost and the racing line. And the racing line in this game is unique. It's actually generated customly of your best time or challenge Ghost. It clearly shows shiftings and braking points. Really nice feature. Competitions menu is another place to test your raw speed. Many players compete in those as they quite often offer real-life prizes. So to summarize, DTM 2014 is not a perfect game, but it's really hard to find any significant flaws. Yes, I would like to see some more features implemented. For example, I really missed radio updates from Team Engineer during the race. Fully animated pit crews would also be a nice addition, but overall it is an excellent package. We have fully licensed DTM series with all teams, drivers and trucks, top of the range single player racing, very good graphics and excellent sounds. And with €26 price tag, it makes this good value too. And it's even cheaper for all owners of 2013 version, as price gets reduced due to overlapping content. So, in my humble opinion, DTM Experience 2014 is a must-have to all fans of virtual racing. Really impressive effort by Sector3. Thanks for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed this review. If you have any questions about the game, please do not hesitate to leave the comment, and I will answer them to the best of my knowledge. That's it from me for now. Take care and see you again.